Steve Gamache here for Chef Knives to Go. We're taking a quick look right now at the Konosuke YW Shitogami or White number 2 Gyuto 210mm knife. So this line from them, as all their stuff is really high quality and great fit and finish and really just well crafted. So this knife has the construction of 3 layers, and it has a core cutting edge center steel of Shitogami or white paper number 2 reactive high carbon steel. Heat treats around the 62 Rockwell mark for that steel. And what they've done is put a soft stainless cladding on either side. So that stainless has a kind of a sandblasted finish on the blade grind, and this is the polished core steel peeking out at the edge. And then they've got a blacksmith finish known as a KU or Kurouchi finish over the top part of the blade before they start grinding it down towards the edge. We'll take a little closer look at this. So it's a very aesthetically interesting knife, very pretty, and quite the performer. So this is a type of knife where the weight and dimensions can vary just a little bit from knife to knife. This particular sample is 150 grams or 5.3 ounces. The edge length is a little oversized at 215 millimeter or about little under 8.5 inches on the edge. The overall length is about 370 millimeters or 14.5 inches with the handle. And the spine thickness, these are a little thicker coming out of the handle. A little spacer out of the way. So it's a little thicker coming out of the handle. I got about 4 millimeters, but it thins down pretty quickly, and you can see the polished, nicely polished spine, by the way. But I got about 2.2 millimeters, about halfway down the blade. And then you can see it starts to taper a little bit. Not a lot of distal taper, but it does start to taper down, and it gets quite thin right at that tip. So you got a lot of nice taper in the last 1.5 inches there, but really thin at the tip. And then here is your choil shot. So a little bit of a muscular grind, but for the thickness, but then they bring it down to a nice thin tip. So the performance on this is going to be really nice. And it's got a fairly flat back half of the blade. You can see that right there on the edge kind of shape. The thickness, or sorry, the blade height on this is about 47 millimeters. So given the little bit thinner handle and the thin neck here, you can see there's loads of clearance for the cutting board, so lots of space. It's got a nice spot for your finger there for a pinch grip. The handle's nicely done. It's a D-shaped handle, kind of right-hand oriented, although I'm a lefty and have no problem with D-shaped handles at all. So don't let that bother you if you happen to be a lefty like me. It is chestnut, kind of a burnt chestnut with a genuine buffalo horn ferrule to it. Nicely done, and really nice fit and finish on this. This is this kind of whiter colored is where they sanded it down to match the ferrule. So real nice fit and finish on this, and a very cool look, that transition. So it's a very nice looking handle. Handle circumference is about 74-ish millimeter, a little under 3 inches where the two materials meet. The handle is fairly light, partial tang, so that's going to bring your balance point forward towards where you might want it for a traditional pinch grip. So there's the balance point right about there. For me, the pinch grip, mine's maybe touch in front of that, but it's a real neutral feel. So that 5.3 ounces feels quite light. It's a very neutral feel on a pinch grip. So real comfortable knife. The fit and finish is really good on this. The grinds, this is not an inexpensive blade, but you can tell they put the time in to it, and the grinds are really clean. The fit and finish is really nicely done. It's very pretty. It's well crafted. So you can see the interesting aesthetics going on there. You do have some, looks to me like hand engraved or chiseled kanji, and then looks like they probably sanded it after that kanji went in there, and then you've got that Kurouchi or blacksmith finish on top of that, so it is there. You've got the polished spine, we kind of showed you that, and the choil is also nicely polished and finished off into the neck of the blade into the handle as well. So it's very comfortable out of the box. Again, real clean grinds, nice straight blade. It's quite thin at the edge, quite thin at the tip. Just super nicely done. I'd say the out-of-the-box edge, 6 out of 10 on my scale. It's just a good, decent edge that looks nicely crafted, got some polish to it, but a nicely done edge. Of course, this steel will get screaming sharp if you do your part. There's not too much that sharpens better and more easily than good quality Shitogami steel. So this white number 2 is going to sharpen up really well, and it's just awesome stuff. So here is your cutting edge profile, and this has a lot of different sections to the blade. So you've got a stop on the back, it kind of flows into a stop, and that whole back half is pretty flat. So you've got a nice chopping section back there, and then you've got a little bit of belly towards the front, so I can still get up in there before that tip starts wanting to dig in. Actually, it's pretty high. So this will rock, although it does come to a stop at the back, but it'll rock definitely. And a lot of good chopping section in the back half, push-pull cuts, glide cuts, tip draws. So this is an extremely versatile profile. Again, a very nicely crafted blade that just has that quality about it. And you can tell a lot of care was taken in the making of this blade and the crafting of this blade. So this is the Konosuke YW Shitogami or white number 2 Gyuto 210mm knife.